No, it was strange. It was a strange feeling. It's hard to explain, but you know, it was a bit overwhelming, really. And again, it was a bit sad because, you know, it would have been nice if my dad could have been there with me, and maybe we could have shared that moment together again.
Absolutely terrific feature, wasn't it? And great to see her here, it really was. Because when you think about it, at the time 30 years ago, it was not de rigueur for sportsmen to bring on their families and loved ones at the end. He kind of started a trend in that regard, didn't he?
Well, he was completely different as a character and completely different as a player. I mean, I remember being like 12 years of age, seeing him in an exhibition in Liverpool, and I was the first one in the hall, and he turned up, and I'd never seen anyone play like him, and he was one of the players who wanted to make me play the game, and fantastic, and she's turned out an absolutely lovely girl, and he'd be very proud of her.
I'm sure he is very proud of her, yeah. And a wonderful line about Judd Trump not inventing naughty snooker. I like that.
Well, I'll tell you what, he played some of the naughtiest stuff there was out there. He invented shots, and he had an imagination for the game that I think very few have had. And yes, ahead of his time.
Yeah.
And also, in my opinion, the best player I'd ever played against on tight pockets. So I think he would have appreciated that the pockets we now play on are slightly tighter than the pockets he played on most of the time in the 80s.
And actually a timely reminder when you see a feature like that of some of the absolutely breathtaking shots that he did play that you forget about.
Yeah, and I'll still remember the clearance he made against Jimmy White. It was at 69 break or something that you've never seen anything like it. I mean, the shots in the middle of it with the circumstances were just incredible, but that's the way he played the game.
Yes, absolutely. OK, well, the natural heir to Alex's flair and passion and style at the table was obviously Jimmy White, and of course Ronnie O'Sullivan, who's featuring in this year's final once again. As you may know, 3 finals, 3 world titles, and after he reached a 4th World Championship final by beating Matty Stevens last night, Steve had a word with him.
You look like you've been enjoying yourself all the tournament.
Yeah, you know, it's been I feel like I've been here about 2 months, to be fair. You know, usually it sort of flies by, but for some reason this time it just seems like it's gone on forever and ever. But yeah, you know, I think the times you win this tournament is in between the matches. You know, when you're out there playing, it's kind of, you're there and you kind of, the natural instincts kick in, but it's kind of not using up too much emotional energy and thoughts in between the matches, because sometimes you can drain yourself and then you get to the table and you think, oh, you know, so 17 days of holding it together it's like the Iron Man of snooker, isn't it?
There's been a few smiles out on the table. I've noticed that you just seem to be enjoying it. On the table, you seem to be enjoying it.
I've been told it helps. It releases happy chemicals, even if I don't mean it.
So far in this tournament, you've beaten some great players. I mean, like, you know, and beaten them well. 3 world champions, 1 UK champion. You must rate your form as pretty strong at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of had some tough matches, Peter Ebdon and Mark Williams and Neil, and you know, there's been times in the tournament where I felt really good, you know, and I thought, you know what, this is, if I could bottle this feeling and take it out every time, you know, I played towards 300, you know, it's just a fantastic feeling, but you know, it's not always easy plain sailing, and sometimes you have to kind of, you know, and you and Stephen were the best at it than anyone. You kind of managed to kind of turn things around when it maybe wasn't going so right. So, you know, I think that's been the important part for me, is that I've not kind of beat myself up and allowed a few bad shots to sabotage the whole match, really.
Tell me about your opponent, Ali Carter. So have you practiced much with him over the years when he first came on the scene?
I remember seeing him when he was about 10, actually, and I looked at his cue action and I thought, Jesus, he hits the ball beautiful, and I thought, who is he? And so that was the first time I see him, and then I see him again at Whitton practicing, and I tipped him to be world champion, and he kind of had a slow start to his career. I remember he got to the semis of the Grand Prix and I thought, okay, that's his breakthrough, he's going to kind of do it now. So I think he's kind of had to work harder than I thought he would have to work to get where he's got, because he's certainly got absolute unbelievable talent, and now he has the temperament, and if you can do it here, you know you've got it.
And a different proposition possibly from 2008?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I think I was playing well then, but I kind of felt that I was there for the taking in the final. You kind of get involved in some matches and you think, if he steps up the gas here, I'm not sure I'm able to go with him, and I kind of got absolute massive respect for his game. And in a way, I was kind of panicking all the way through that match, and then kind of when I got over the line, I was so relieved, because I thought, you know, if he turns it on, maybe, you know, I could be sitting in my chair for a long time. So, absolute different proposition now. I think Ali's going to be fancying the job, wants to win the world title. Everyone wants to be world champion, so you know, so yeah, he'll be up for it.
The two finalists have both got sports psychologists in their corner. You've got Dr. Steve Peters.
He's got Ebden.
Ali's got Dr. Peter Ebden. Do you think you got the upper hand?
No, I think you know, it's kind of different. We're looking for different things. Mine was just kind of a sabotage thing, you know. I think once I'm in the right frame of mind and I'm thinking clearly, I'm quite an aggressive player, and I like to be aggressive, and I've always found that would overcome any obstacle that was put in front of me. So you know, Ali's got Peter, and I think Peter will do for Ali what Ray done to me, and you will learn, and it's invaluable because it just makes you much more of an all-rounder, I think.
You never seem to bother about records, but what would it mean, a fourth world title?
Huge, it'd be massive, you know. Don't get me wrong, I've managed to win 3, but 4 would be fantastic. It kind of put me level with John Higgins. Only 2 behind you, only 3 behind Stephen Hendry. But yeah, 3's nice, 2's great, 3's brilliant, 4's fantastic, 5's dream world, 6 you're a legend, 7 you're, you know. So yeah, listen, it'll be great.
Well, you know, it's fascinating to get into Ronnie's head there, and you know, when he says if you could bottle that feeling of winning, then he'd play on for another 300 years. And yet, lads, in the papers this morning, they're full of other quotes that he's been giving in different interviews in which he says that he's quite serious about perhaps saying that's it, even at the end of this final. Retirement may beckon. Now, we don't know whether he's serious about it or not, but he's clearly in a very good place thanks to the work of Dr. Steve Peters, as you mentioned. How do you read his current state of mind and the way he is going about his business at the moment?
Well, I think he looks as relaxed, as enjoying it as he's ever done here. That's why I think he's such a danger in this event. As to whether he could retire at the top if he won the World Championship, well, we had spoken for many years backstage amongst all the players that he's the one player we thought would retire before his time was finished. Perhaps Stephen Hendry has beaten him to it, but I wouldn't put it past Ronnie to retire as world champion.
Well, we know that he's always admired Pete Sampras, who went out at the top, and there's a whole list of others, but is it conceivable tomorrow night?
Listen, I don't know. He's the one we have to ask on that. What I could see happening is the fact that he'd get a lot of ranking points for this event. I think he might try and pick and choose next season if he plays. I don't see Ronnie being the type of player playing in every event. I just don't think that suits him, to be honest with you. So it may be a case that he wins this, gets a few points and thinks, well, I'll have 1 or 2 events off if he can do that.
And actually, the quicker we go to a prize money ranking system, it may suit a Ronnie O'Sullivan to dip in and out of tournaments and not have his arm twisted so much to play in smaller events with ranking points.
OK, well, there's a long, long way before there's any decisions to be taken by either player about the way forward. We're just enjoying this final and another 4 frames to play this afternoon. We have a change of personnel in the commentary box now as we hear from Willie Thorne and Dennis Taylor. Afternoon, you enjoying it so far?
Good afternoon, Hazel. Certainly am. A little bit of a awkward last frame, but
thank you.
Ali
Frame
Carter
5, Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
To win 2 after losing the opening 2 frames. Final on. So Ronnie then gets the 5th frame underway with not a bad break off. He's got that cue ball over behind the green. Yeah, I think the big question everyone's saying, if Ronnie gets in front, can he run away from Ali Carter? Well, Ali has just proved with breaks of 84 in the 3rd and then winning that awkward frame that he's certainly here to lift his first world title.
Yes, it was an excellent 2 frames he played, but Ronnie, usually when he's lost a couple of frames on the trot, we've seen him up a gear. It'll be interesting to see whether he can again today. He's done it every time somebody's put 2 frames against him. He's suddenly won 3 on the trot. He's done it all week. Very interesting interview, I thought, that Steve did, and I congratulate Steve for that interview. He asked a lot of good questions, and Ronnie was very well at ease with himself, wasn't he?
Well, I can't see this man retiring from the game of snooker. He was born to play this game. At the back of his mind now, he might just have Stephen Hendry's record. I thought he'd have been closer to it already with the talent that he has. I mean, Stephen Hendry said Ronnie's the greatest player that's played the game. For me, Stephen's still the greatest, but if Ronnie can equal or get to Stephen's record, then I might change my mind.
Yes, it's the same argument we have in golf, isn't it, with Tiger Woods and Jack Nicklaus. I mean, a lot of people think Tiger's a better player, but Jack Nicklaus has got the records, and the same can be said in our sport. I mean, I think that Ronnie's got slightly more ability than Stephen, but obviously not yet got the match. But, Stephen Hendry was able to produce time and time again under pressure.
Well, a very deserved round of applause for an excellent safety shot there from Ali Carter. And he's just 1% behind Ronnie in the safety success department. Now he needs the yellow to come to his rescue here, and it might just do. No, I think he can cue past the yellow to take this red on. Now the only problem is the natural angle will take the white towards the red to the left of the pink, so he's got to be a little bit careful. He's just looking to see if he could hold for the black, but he'd have to drop it in dead weight, and that would be asking a little bit too much. Well, that's an interesting. He's not even taking the pot on. So he's sticking with his game plan. Ronnie removed that red that I thought Ali might have a go at.
He's got to be a little bit careful, I think, Ronnie, playing at Ali's pace at the moment. He's up to 21 seconds per shot. His shots throughout this tournament, his average has been about 15 or 16 seconds, and I think Ali's doing a really good job so far today. And you can see it's now beginning to affect Ronnie's concentration. That was a really poor safety shot. They had oceans of room to get through the gap there.
He's just got down and played that very casually. All he needs is a little bit of right-hand side. Hit the red far too thin, and well, he'll have to sit there and just stew a little, because that was careless.
The pink's available in the right-hand corner, but the black's out of commission at the moment. But the reds are perfect.
1.
There's a chance of a very big break here.
Yeah, there's never been a better way of playing the game of snooker than
4.
very good tactical play, and when you get a chance, make enough to win a frame. It's still a winning formula. And okay, Ali maybe has been playing a little bit more cagey, not risking the, well, he's playing the percentages, and maybe his chats with Peter Ebdon, that's the game plan, and it's working at the moment, that's for sure. But this fella's quite capable of scoring heavily, as you've seen throughout this year's championship. And straight away, nice little cannon here, and he's got a good chance.
Yes, he probably played 2 shots in one there, didn't he? Played to get on the black, but if he had hit it a little bit harder, he knows that the pink would have been available in the middle. Dennis mentioned that little cannon, the one just to the right of the black. That opens the black into both pockets. Gives him a little bit more room to work. I'll be surprised if he doesn't make at least a 60 from here. Easy for me to say.
12. 13. $20.
A lot of the crowd thought that wasn't going to reach, but Ali knew it was. He was on his way around the table. Table's playing beautifully, I must admit, throughout this year's Betfred.com Championship. It's been superb, the tables. Got the odd bounce here and there, but overall, tables have been beautiful to play on.
28.
I just like his style. I like his cue action. He's so compact. You know, he's not the tallest player. I think I mentioned one of the earlier rounds, the great Joe Davis, who was 20 times world champion. Ali is similar height to him. Maybe Joe just an inch taller, but he's got a compact cue action. He looks so good. And really, you can't see much going wrong with this action.
Yes, common knowledge is not
37.
blessed with the greatest temperament in the world, but it's certainly been very, very good this week. Look at that cue action there, Dennis, as you rightly say, straight back leg. That's the cue action that was an old cue action, as it were, what is called the perfect cue action. A lot of players have a bent back leg now. John Parrott, our studio guest, has a bent one.
$42.
Just when he had the balls in absolutely perfect position, and you thought he was going to win the frame, he's missed a sitter.
Not the easiest of pots here. You're right down the queue. Oh, look at that shot. A little bit straight on the black, but shouldn't be a problem. But that opening pot was
8.
a little bit special. There's the distance. Not only the pot to control the cue ball.
9.
Ronnie spotted 8 out of his long pots, as you can see. Well, Ali's got 7 out of 10. So. But this will be a bit painful for Ali to have to sit in his seat, especially if Ronnie
16.
makes a frame-winning effort here, because that was an easy red that Ali missed. Just was concentrating on getting through the gap on the black, took his eye off the pot.
Yes, we often say in commentary that the first 40 points is the difficult part of the break. The last 40 points is usually straightforward, especially when the reds are in the middle of the table like this.
17.
Now, if one of these reds, the 3 that are together, goes, doesn't have to play any cannons. His only problem will be the red near the side cushion.
24.
A few moments ago we were looking at 3 on the trot for Carter. There's every chance now that Ronnie O'Sullivan's going to stop the rot and take this frame now.
$31. $32.
Just nudging that red means that they're not available into the corner pockets. They'll go to the middle. Not quite as he would have
39.
liked. Should be able to hold for the pink, if not the pink, the blue.
40.
And the pink, he's got an angle because I mentioned those 2 reds not being available into the corner pockets. And that's not as planned. He's tied 1 red up and he's left a thin snick on the other.
46.
I think he was trying to get in between those 2 reds, push them both on. Where's the cue ball? Where's the cue ball?
47.
Well, the fact that it's finished straight on the blue, I think Ali's going to come back to the table now, because somehow not only is he going to pot this red, he's got to leave an angle on pink or blue to bring the other end to play.
52.
He's just looking at whether he can play the cannon from the blue. I don't think he can get to the red from the blue, so he may have to play for the brown or the pink.
Oh, look what he's done here. Has he covered those?
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 52.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm looking at Ali in the seat and he had a little smile, and that's what he was smiling at. Ali was directly behind that and he knew that Ronnie was very fortunate there. Once he missed the pot to wobble in the jaws and leave them like this. This was all he could do. Is Ronnie going to risk coming off the side cushion, get over behind the green? If he can play a little cannon off that red, get the white summer up near there or in behind the brown, just depends how thin he can hit it. He could cover everything. He's got to be pretty precise with this. That's a bit short. He's left a pot on.
No option but to kiss into the second red if he takes the one that's to the left of the 2, but he can possibly get through to the other one.
Got to be careful he doesn't go in off that other red to the right corner, just looking at the angle if he plays it plain ball.
Well, that's a mistake. I fancied Ali to pot that one. Not too sure whether the red that's next to the blue will pass the brown, but you can get onto pink or black from this red.
Yeah, this is not easy though, is it? He made it look easy. And he's played it beautifully. And that red you mentioned, Willie, does pass the brown. He's already 11 in front.
If he plays the black, he's got a little bit of work to do with the cue ball. He's going to have to push it around 2 cushions, and we see this excellent pot on the red. Perfect position. Well, I say perfect. He would like to be another 2 inches further to the right, but he can get there from pink or black.
Yeah, he's trying to work out. There's the red, but he's trying to work out if he took the black, would he need the difficult yellow? He's 18 in front, so he's going to need the yellow, especially if he takes one of the lower valued colours. In fact, it didn't matter which colour he takes off. This, he's still looking at the scoreboard. Sometimes it's difficult just to work the score out when you're out there, but the yellows, if he can get in behind, it's not all that difficult. But
at least playing for the blue, it means that he can get dead straight on the yellow and just roll it down the cushion. Because he only needs one ball, but that looks to have gone astray.
I was surprised he played for the blue. Why didn't he just stay on
14.
the baulk colours? Because the yellow was going to be the difficult one. The green was okay. I think he got himself a little confused there, Ronnie. And instead of clinching
Ronnie
the frame,
14.
he's 24 in front. So Ali could pinch it. Well, he looks to have finished absolutely dead straight on this yellow, so he can't do much with the cue ball. So he's going to try and get in behind the black here, twice across the table. Not quite.
Too dangerous to play the stun shot in behind the brown, because he'll be pushing the yellow up towards this left-hand corner pocket, and very tough at distance to get the hold. But he has played it. This is dangerous, but he's played it nicely. Look where the yellow's finished there. You see, that's why it was dangerous to play that shot.
I'll tell you what, now the yellow has finished there, there's so much room to slip around the back of it, whichever way Ali goes. I mean, one cushion, he's got to hit it, otherwise he'll stick it up. And I think he might have to just go the one cushion. It's as if you're trying to shoot the white into the corner pocket, hitting the cushion first. Well, if the yellow's dead straight, there's no way Ronnie can get anywhere near the green, so he'll refuse the pot. Well, he didn't refuse the pot because he's 26 in front, so it didn't matter about the green. So Ali didn't get away with that last shot. But just the one snooker needed.
Ronnie O'Sullivan 2.
The brown's about the best placed ball to get a snooker behind, but not from this position. So Ali's got to concentrate and try and keep that green safe also here. He didn't play to pot that.
Probably heard the slight kick there as he played that. The cue ball would have been a lot closer to the pink. It was a slight little bounce. It's amazing. It doesn't matter whether you're playing a stunner or a screw or just a little roll through. Sometimes you can get a kick. He got one there, but it made no difference to the desired snooker.
Yeah, that's it. The green has come up into a potable position. Disappointing frame from Ali Carter. 42 break, and it's gone now. He missed that easy red that we showed you a couple of times, and that has cost Ali this frame, which would have given him 3 frames in a row.
7. $12.
So Ali Carter had an earlier break of 42 and broke down. Ronnie had a 52, didn't quite clinch the frame, but he's clinched it now, and Ronnie O'Sullivan back in the lead at 3-2.
Well, back here at the practice room at the Crucible, I've been joined by Peter Ebdon, former world champion, now in the camp of Ali Carter. We were standing here watching that first frame after the restart, and you were saying what an important frame it is.
Yeah, obviously Ronnie's done very, very well to win that frame. Ali got in first and missed the red, which was very, very difficult, only just went. And unfortunately presented a chance to Ronnie, and you know, he's done really, really well to win that frame.
How was Ali during the mid-session interval? What did you talk about? If you don't mind, give us a little bit of insight.
He's great. He's very, very strong. He's very, very focused, and it's more of the same, really. I think he's played excellent match snooker the whole tournament, and I think he's got a real chance of winning this event.
Ronnie went 2 frames up in the twinkling of an eye. A lot of players would have felt intimidated by that.
Yeah, I mean, the response from Ali was just world class, because the pressure out there, you can feel it. It's just absolutely tremendous. And it was just a fantastic response. Not many players could have done that. You know, this is the biggest occasion in the world, the final of the World Championship. And no, I was very, very proud of him. And it was a tremendous performance.
What would your advice have been to Ali during the mid-session interval?
Just more of the same. You know, he's just been playing the right game all week, and that's going to give him every chance of winning this World Championship.
A lot has been made about the diet and things. I mean, there's all the headlines today about carrot juice, for example. Peter, did you have a sip of carrot juice in the interval?
Absolutely, carrot juice is massive. You know, organic carrot juice is one of the healthiest things that you can ever have in your life. I'm a little bit short of converting him to veganism, but I'll keep working on him.
And back to the action. Ali's one behind.
Carrot juice, Willie, huh? Big Bill Werbenek, you couldn't see Big Bill drinking carrot juice at the interval.
Could have had some lager in it. Yes, it was obviously through his illness, and obviously makes you a little bit more alert, apparently. I still have to do a bit of reading.
Be a bit careful here, Ronnie. If he plays thin off this red and he doesn't catch another red or get the double kiss. He's played it well.
Yes, I know we've only had 5 frames, Dennis, but not many players in the world can out-safety Ronnie O'Sullivan, and the stats say that Ali Carter's doing that at the moment. He's 3% better than Ronnie at this moment in time, and some of the thin safety shots that Ali has played have been first class. But you've just got to score a little bit more when you get in. And there's another example of an excellent safety shot from Ali Carter. That last frame when he was on 42, should have won it. So just going to get a little bit more proficient in the break building department, and this match could definitely go all the way.
has that little flick on the green come to his rescue there? It has. Look at that. Without the cannon on the green, he could have seen this. And I'm just having a quick glance. There's no easy path down the right side of the table, that's for sure. But it's very congested around the black spot again. You might just have to think about this for a while, because those two reds that are the right side of the table are in the way slightly. Can he take the pot on and find a gap here? Well, there's your answer. He got the pot and he found the gap.
One.
Couldn't have cued that any better. That's what you call potting your way out of trouble.
How is it you never get a kiss on a baulk colour properly when you play a really good shot like that? The number of times when playing an ordinary safety shot, the players kiss the baulk colour. After an excellent shot like that, probably deserved to kiss a baulk colour and kept him in play.
Ali Carter, one.
He's got the upper hand on the safety exchange again. Ronnie will do well to hit one and get this safe.
Now just have a look at this pot. There's the distance, 7'9", but have a look where he got the cue ball. Not only got the pot, but what a gap he found there. And this is going to take some hitting. He'll be trying to get to one of the reds behind the black, you would feel. He might be able to get to the one near the left corner pocket, but can he judge it with loads aside here? That's not far away. Is he going to put it safe? Not quite. It's a good effort to try and get in behind it there.
Both pink and black out of commission at the moment, so he's going to have to play this with the long rest and with check side to check it up for the blue.
He's just said, I'm not going to be able to reach that. As I say, he's not the tallest of players. He's having a little smile there. He's got the extended rest and the extension on his cue. Funny enough, up in the Champions Lounge, I was talking to our chairman, Jason Ferguson, and they're just about to do away with the long rest that they have at the side of the table because it's never used anymore.
Yeah, they're antiques then, those cues at the side of the table, aren't they, the long rest?
Yep, they won't be there, I feel, next season because they're never, ever used. Now you have a look at this. He's got to reach the full length of the table virtually. I think Ali could do with a little pair of steps. You know, the ones you keep in the kitchen.
No, I think I'm all right, thanks.
Somebody just asked him if he wanted a leg up, I think, and he said, no, I'll be okay, thanks.
The thing is, it's quite heavy now, so he's got to get it out of the way. The white's going to come back towards it. Yeah.
Just not hard enough there with the balances. The green's not on its spot, which makes it a lot wider target to get the blue and pot it and get back into the business end of the table. Anywhere down this right-hand side, there seems to be a number of reds that will be available. Oh, the pink pots, actually. I've just noticed that pot's in the corner, but where will the pink go when it's potted?
Seven.
Very awkward now that the pink is on the black spot.
Eight.
But there's nothing wrong with taking a few reds, a few blues, until he can get into the pink and black. Wouldn't be the first time I've seen a frame won with a player just taking reds and
30.
blues.
Yes, in a couple of reds' time, these two reds will be away from the pink spot, and then when he gets top side of the blue, he can play into the pink and black. So that's what will be on his mind at the moment.
Some of the earpieces are a bit loud, especially over here. Could you turn them down?
He's played that very poorly. Needed to be well top side of the blue there. It's going to be really tough to get the next red and get onto the blue. Oh, he's made an angle. Very well played. There's a good shot, that.
90.
Yeah, he was almost straight on it. But with these superfine cloths, you can, if you play with enough power, make an angle.
$20.
Coming up a little bit short again, but he's got the 3 reds to play on, and the green off its spot will help him get to those 3 reds. There you see the wrong side of the blue. Oh, he needs to miss the green. That's a poor shot from Ali. It really is.
25.
But I'll tell you what, he looks very focused, and we see him get annoyed with himself sometimes when he does that, but he's not doing it here in the final, so... He shouldn't have been anywhere near the green.
Well, Dennis, I can only think he played the right-hand side of the green and just got too much into the cue ball, because there wasn't enough room, was there, really, to get in between green and brown that way. So he made a 42 in the previous frame, broke down when perhaps he shouldn't. 25 in this frame, just broke down when perhaps he shouldn't. Got to be careful.
That is such a difficult shot, just to land on the brown from near the cushion. And there's one of Ronnie's best mates there, Damien Hurst, the renowned artist. He's been here throughout the whole of this year's World Championship. He loves it. And we love his paintings. I wouldn't mind one hanging in my lounge.
They fetch hundreds of thousands now, the Damien paintings. Jimmy White, great player. Jimmy White's testimonial on June the 2nd. Damien Hurst putting a painting up for auction for Jimmy White's testimonial. So that's a nice gesture from Damien. Obviously loves the snooker. I love the pleasure of auctioning that off. I'll put you down for a couple of 100,000, Dennis, and I'll stop.
One of these reds go. Maybe. If you strip behind it, it would be a lot easier. The fact is just not straight on it makes it a little more difficult to judge. Looking at another one. Does this one go to the middle? Can you get past the other red? No. I think the blues comes rescue here, though.
Yes, excellent escape from Ali, wasn't it? 2 seconds ago, or 2 minutes ago, it was a really banging trouble down the brown, and he played such a good safety shot, forced Ronnie into playing that one, so he's got the upper hand on the safety exchange now. Not playing the pot. I've got to be honest, I don't think I've ever seen Ali Carter play so many brilliant safety shots. Really. Okay, he's not scoring as well as Ronnie, but his safety play is outstanding.
Well, the red's coming over towards the corner. Is the yellow going to snooker him on that? I don't think so this time. Ronnie's anxiously looking down the line of it, and it has. He'd have to bend that slightly. He'd a little trace aside on it. He feels that maybe he can see enough of it. Oh, he got too much side on it. Now, where's the red going? It's not going to drop in the middle, is it? Where's the cue ball going? Oh. Now then, this red in the middle, as Ali walks away with a little wry smile. If he puts the red in the middle pocket, the natural angle is going to take the white up towards pink and black. I'm just wondering if he cannons into that, can he push one of those high-valued colours on? It's a natural to cannon into them, so just keep your eye on the cue ball here. You know, the pink might pot, but I don't think it passes the red. He's having a look.
It's one of those, Dennis, wasn't it, when he relied on a little bit of luck, and unfortunately for Ronnie fans, it hasn't happened that time. I don't blame him for playing to bring both pink and black into play. He probably felt, even if I get a thin kiss, I might go up for blue or bought colour. We'll have a little look at it again in a second, and he was relying on a bit of luck, Dennis, but as you rightly say, he was trying to bring pink and black into play.
Well, he's brought them into play now.
Ronnie
That
O'Sullivan
safety
won.
shot. So the frame now very open. Only the two reds and the side cushion safe. Gone a little bit awkward again, this frame, with this area behind the black spot, the safety zone. The tighter you can get to the cushion, the better. Ronnie this time will be forced to play off the two reds that are tied up. Not a bad thing from his point of view. The only thing is he's got to get this right. Lots aside. Because if he knocks one red away, he's got to be careful he doesn't knock it over the middle pocket. And what happens, he's given the advantage to Ali Carter, because if the one red goes up past the middle pocket, Ali will play off the one that he leaves there. And that was clever. He's tried to move them, but that's a terrific shot. Believe it or not, that is a superb shot. He worked that out, that he could knock both reds away, and it was a risky shot, but he played it to perfection. If he just had played the one red, Willie, he would have left himself in trouble.
Couldn't agree with you more, Dennis. I think it was the best safety shot of the day. I think that was excellent. And that one shot has now put Ali in trouble this time. Where does he get safe?
He can just about get to the bottom of the cue ball to try and screw back off the cushion. There you see him digging right down into the cue ball. He's overhit this a little bit. Now there is a red that'll pass the pink, but you know what Ronnie's like. If he sees a half chance, he'll take it on, and this, he's looking at the scoreboard. Well, there's only 24 the difference. That's maybe just a little nervous glance to the scoreboard. If he takes this on, it's got to go in, otherwise he could lose the frame.
Yes, if he could see a safety shot, Dennis, I think he'd play a safety shot, but there's not a straightforward one to play safe. But the angle he's got in the middle pocket, it only just goes by the pink.
Well, he went full-blooded for it. I thought he might roll it in, give it more of a chance. Once you play to stun this type of shot in, it's so much more difficult.
Mighty close though, wasn't he? Now, Ali Carter already leading by 24 points. If this red goes in, they'll be very, very disappointed not to take this frame and level again at 3-all.
Thank you. 1.
8 frames to be played in this session.
Seven.
And the fact that Ali's going to have to start concentrating shortly on the lower valued colours, he'll have to pot a few more balls to clinch the frame. Blue back on
8.
its spot would help, but doesn't matter which of the ball colours he takes as long as he keeps potting them. But
it's like a little terrier this
10.
week, Ali, isn't he? Just won't let go. Whatever people have thrown at him, Judd Trump was 12-9 in front. He hung on to his shirt tails. Ronnie O'Sullivan's led throughout the match. And
11.
Ali's still there, hanging on to his shirt tails.
yes, and if somehow he could win this year's Betfred.com World Championship, what an achievement, because he's playing a player who's been at the top of his form throughout this year's championship. So if he somehow could beat Ronnie O'Sullivan the way he's played, what an achievement that
70.
would be. Long way to go, but he's creeping closer. Look at the tournament pot success rate. He's only 1% behind Ronnie.
And I'm going to be honest, I think this is the best that Ronnie's ever played here at the Crucible. I know he's won it 3 times before. But for consistency, I don't think we've seen Ronnie play better. So Ali Carter
18.
has got it all to do, and so far he's doing it.
Well, that one wobbled a little bit. That's why he's finished tight on the side cushion.
20.
I think his heart would have skipped a little beat there. Because it definitely wobbled, that yellow. Needs to pull up.
21.
Just needs the black. And that's well played. We'll just show you the yellow wobbling there, but safely in and purposely played for the black. That's 52 in front with just 51 on the table. So another red to make absolutely certain.
28.
Where's the red going?
29.
takes the frame beyond any reasonable doubt. And the miss on the pink, I'm sure Ronnie will concede, and he has done. Rather a scrappy frame, that one. Larry Carter needed 2 or 3 chances, eventually he's taken it and levelled the match once again. And we're level at 3-all.
Well, it's going to be snooker all the way with us today, because before we get going with the first of the evening session in this final this evening at 7 o'clock, there will be a chance for you to get to know a little bit better the man who runs this sport, the one and the only Barry Hearn.
There's certain times when you look in the mirror and you say to yourself, you know what, you're pretty good. The shoulders go back, the chest comes out and say, Bazza, nice one.
If Barry was chocolate, he would eat himself. He does love himself.
He's great at making you feel good in yourself.
I'll tell you what, the geezer on the right's better looking than the geezer on the left.
All the players realise that I don't think he really cares what our opinions are about most things. He's just going to do it.
He's come from a council estate in Dagenham and he's really built his life up and his career up from nothing.
Phil, how are you?
Pound for pound, he's delivered more excitement to the punter in the street than any other promoter.
Don't start looking over your shoulder and saying, oh, I should have done it. Do it or shut up.
Yes, there's only one Barry Hearn, that's for sure. He used to look after the Matchroom stable when we made that snooker loopy record.
Thank you. Frame 7, Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
Yeah, he is a one-off, and we are looking at a one-off breaking off. A little bit too hard this time. Hasn't got behind the green. And I think, well, Ali, believe it or not, is looking at a safety shot, but you'd think he'd have a go with this red. There's a gap. Then he could get onto the black. Now you're potting well, Ali. No, he's refusing it, so there definitely is a game plan. Well, he's going to leave that red that he refused, I think. Oh, he's got it tight in behind the green. Nice round of applause from Peter Ebden, but Peter knows that he was playing that white onto the cushion, not in behind the green, but he'll take that. How's the pace? He's just trying to get into the back of that bunch. Might just have left a long straight red for the corner. It all depends on the angle. If it's not dead straight, Ali won't take it on. No use in attempting that because you can't get onto a colour. Could play a little thin one off that red twice across the table, though. That's the shot that is available to him. Missed the blue and green. He's got away with that, Ronnie. He thought when he hit it, the way he reacted, I thought, I'm going to stick him right in amongst the balls here. Now what's Ali got lined up here into the corner?
I think he was just squinting to see if the loose red passed those two reds into the corner, and it's very, very tight. It definitely pots off the left-hand jaw, but the angle he has on the cue ball, it's pointless playing it. So just got to be careful around the back of the pink, in behind green and brown again. He's played it thin. Oh, that sprung off the cushion as well. That did bounce a bit quick.
Well, Ronnie's just looking to see if he can take the red into the corner, stun across a bunch of reds and get himself onto the black. This would be some shot. And that's what he's looking at there. Pot the red and try and miss the reds, get himself on the black. And what about that for a shot?
Very interesting, isn't it, Dennis? Because Ali Carter, there's no way in the world he'd have played that shot the way his game plan is. And you know, we've got the stats in the commentary box here, and Ali's winning the safety bout, Ronnie's winning the potting bout. I mean, how do we decide who's going to win this match?
8.
Can a man that plays better safety win the tournament? I'm not sure.
9.
Well, that's worth looking at this again. Not so much the pot, but the control of the cue ball. How's your luck? Not too good. The white is stuck in the reds.
14.
Played it well, but the white just got stuck on a couple of reds, and now he's got one over the pocket. Might be able to cut the other red onto it. If he doesn't, he's got to hide that one. Yellow and blue will be the snookering balls for the one that's near his body there.
Yes, it's a big target, isn't it, the yellow and blue? You have to consider himself very unlucky not to have been on a red there. He broke the pack perfectly.
Well, he's played some fabulous safety shots. This is going to have to be absolutely spot on. There is a gap back down the table, but does he cover that red that's over the pocket? That's the one he can play off the left side of it and get back down the table. He's looking for something else. He's already had a look at that. Yeah, that's the path it would take, but he's still got to cover that red. He's got to find that and get right up the table, not the end of my line, right up the table. And he hasn't. Has he fluked? Oh, it's dead there.
Well, as you rightly say, Dennis, tried to move the red off the pocket, and he couldn't have hit it better, could he? He hit it perfectly. Another roll, that was in. So Ronnie's just won that safety exchange. Can he make it count? Oh, he's lost the cue ball. Oh, he wanted to hit that half ball, hit it quarter ball. That's the reason the cue ball's gone past the black.
And the blue doesn't pass the red. He can only play the green here. If he plays the green, he can cover that red that's up past the blue. It's not imperative that he covers that red as long as he gets the white close to the cushion. And he could play the brown and get tight on the cushion. But you think the green would be the easier one. So it is the brown. As long as he gets the cue ball tight on the cushion. But that last red that was over the pocket, they're tough to control, and he played it with a lot of drag, but it seemed to just take off when it hit the cushion, Willie.
Yeah, we've been showing that drag shot a few times this week, and how the white changes direction. It spins one way, then with the drag, and then ends up being topspin, and it just lost its drag by the time it got to the red, and the fact that he hit it thin. But he's won this safety exchange as well, so he'll be disappointed now, Ronnie, if he hasn't got a red on here. There's definitely one that pots, but only the brown and blue available, I think. Might play for brown, blue, or yellow, swinging around two cushions. This is all break building, you see. Look at the things like that, and of course he's played it bad.
1.
It just shows you, I mean, Ali's game plan, it's definitely working at the moment. He's not playing slow, he's just playing better safely than Ronnie.
But to be fair there, as you mentioned, Billy, there was no colours available. There's the average shot time. And the pink was tied up, black was tied up. He tried to swing it round for the brown or blue, but you've got to keep his patience here as Ronnie, which he has done throughout this year's World Championship. A few of the frames have gone a little bit awkward, but they're just as important as the frames you win with one visit.
Well, he's blessed with wonderful cue power. Got the cue ball back to very near the cushion, but he's left a tempter for Ronnie. And he's not prone to refuse these.
But how's he going to get on a colour? The yellow's gone safe as well. Look at the way those balls have finished up. What an awkward frame this is turning out to be. This will suit Ali more than Ronnie at the moment. So, as I say, patience is the order of the day, the way the frame's panning out here.
Maybe able to play a little cannon on the blue here just to slow the white ball down. He'd be unlucky not to be on the blue. The brown will be pushed towards the balk area. So he's played the cannon. Oh, has he fluked it? Concentrated too hard on the cannon down, didn't he?
How many times have we seen that? Where you take your eye off the pot, he played the shot you called, Willie, to free the blue, and just forgot about the red. Now the colours are a little bit better placed.
One.
And Ronnie, having missed 3 reds on the trot, will quickly forget about those. He wouldn't have forgot about it if he was sat in his chair for 10 minutes while Ali got these few points. He missed 3 pots on the trot, Ronnie, there, and he's got an extra chance. Do well to get above 20 from here, though.
4.
He's gone a bit too far. He wanted to be able to pot this and get nicely on the blue. Change of plan.
5.
What he could do with here is the red nicely on the blue, then the red that's near the pink spot, back for the blue, and then he's got a chance to bring
9.
the black into play. I'm sure that's what he'll be thinking.
Ten.
I mean, he could go into the black and red here, but that red near the pink spot's slightly in the way. That's why I thought he'd play for this, remove this. Now, can he get onto the blue? He's left it a bit short.
15.
A little bit of side needed to get nicely on the blue.
16.
So can he get nicely on that red as close to the pink spot? Better this time. Nice angle on the blue and then into that black and red to try and open things up.
21.
Yes, you'll see him make sure he gets top side of the blue here. And as Dennis mentioned, he doesn't want to kiss the black. He wants to kiss the red and the black at the same time. So he pushes the black one way and the red the other.
Yeah, that'll be his plan. And he had this plan for quite a few shots. Well, he's just playing for the red. Is he going to try and win this frame? It's just taking reds and blues.
27.
Surprised he didn't play the cannon there.
I'm not surprised at this, I'm amazed. How's he going to win the frame now? OK, he's a massive favourite where the balls are, but Ali will be playing safety shots to bring those reds into play in a minute.
Now he needs to drop on that red, and this looks to be just a little bit too hard, is it? Can he get to the potting angle? He's got plenty of cue power. Back for the blue again.
$33.
And just look at that cue power. He was trying to make this break without risking a cannon. Needs one more red. That one doesn't pass. Well, does it pass the pink? Maybe it just creeps by. It does. Superb. It really was superb. Oh, the yellow's not going to go in, is it, surely?
44.
It's great to see him make a break like that, Willie, because the balls were very awkwardly placed, and I think he likes a challenge when they're like that.
And he did make it a challenge, didn't he? He forced himself to make it a challenge. It was a brilliant break, one of the best of the match, and it's only 45.
Oh, there's a few more to come, though, Willie. Look at this cannon. If he clears up here, it's one of the best clearances you could ever wish to see. Absolutely
57.
Amazing.
There's a lot of things that thrill you in sport, isn't it? And this is one of them, seeing a break like this made from one of the best players in the world, and how he's compiled this break has been nothing short of remarkable.
Well, that's why he's the only player in the game you could use the word genius about. And I think he has loved every minute of this. I mean, the way the frame panned out, Ronnie O'Sullivan a couple of seasons ago could have lost his focus and just had a bash through his cue at a difficult, but he hasn't. He's kept his cool.
Especially having missed 3 very easy balls, Dennis, and
74.
He's been fantastic, his focus this week.
$79.
Well, can he convert the pink and make it a clearance? He can.
86.
Absolutely incredible. That is one of the finest breaks you'll ever wish to see anywhere in the world. It didn't look on. Ronnie O'Sullivan cleared up with a magnificent 92 break, and he's 4-3 ahead.
Well, that was absolutely remarkable. Ali Carter asking some very difficult questions of Ronnie, but boy, did he find the answers, John.
I mean, we've got a still of this, the way he started. Well, have a look at the table here, he starts his break off. Can you tell me he's going to clear up from there? I mean, that is just incredible. The red's along the stuck next to the black. The one next to the pink on the side. I mean, absolutely, look at that for the start of it. And Willie quite rightly on commentary said if you're doing well to make 20 here, and he's made a 92 clearance. Absolutely remarkable break.
What do you make of it, Steve?
Well, yeah, superb. I mean, I don't think probably only Ronnie O'Sullivan, who's ever played the game, could have made that break. His knowledge of positional play is fantastic. His control of the cue ball, as we know, is brilliant as well. And actually, during that frame, a lot of times he'd run out of position in the early part after Ali had messed a safety shot up and been frustrated, but hadn't shown it on his face at all. Just got down, played the right safety shot, didn't get too upset with himself, waited for another chance. And when you thought he wasn't going to make it was when he does. Yeah, he does like the challenge at the moment, I think.
Incredible, yeah. And the overall pattern of the match has been very tricky because the balls have gone awkward in the last 3-4 frames, haven't they?
Yeah, and there's a shot on the brown that he plays and just flicks the cannon in and brings the reds out, and then the other one slips around the back. I mean, there's so many good shots in it, but the most meritorious thing for me is the fact that they've had a safety battle for so long, and it's been a bitty match, and then he goes and produces that.
And what can happen at the end of this, if Ronnie O'Sullivan wins this frame to finish off the session, he'll have effectively kept his advantage after the fantastic 2 frames he started off with, so he'd probably think that was job well done.
Absolutely, well, he can't be behind after this opening session, and this is the last frame of this afternoon's first session of a potential 4 in this final.
Well, when the boys got that still up, Dennis, to show where he made it from, and I was suggesting 20 would be a good break, I still think 20 was a good break, and he made 92. That was an unbelievable break. Reminds me of the late, great Alex Higgins when he made a 60-odd break in the semi-final, I think it was, against Jimmy White. Now, can Ali Carter hang on to his coattails again and get out of this session 4-4?
Well, a lot will depend on this opening shot, because there is a gap he can find here. I'll tell you what, he'll take that. He got the pot. He wasn't absolutely sure what was going to happen, the cue ball, but look at that for a result. Amazing. And if he leaves an angle on this red, he'll go into the pack because of the red that's to the left there. That'll be a bit of insurance.
9.
Purposely leaving the angle, so this is the key shot. Could open quite a few up here.
Don't know whether he can quite get into the cue ball enough to hold at the back of the pack. He really has got to dig deep. Yeah, played it slower to make sure, because when you play a screw shot, it runs forward before it goes back.
He's brought another 3 into play there, and that's 2 reds,
60.
2 blacks. I'm not even going to talk about it. I know Stephen Hendry was somewhere in the building, but when he sees Ronnie on a couple of reds and a couple of blacks, he starts panicking because he'll lose 25 grand.
As he was telling us that before the match started, he just said that Ronnie seems to be playing so well. That's the only thing he hasn't done this week.
17.
He'll still want the frame. That's his main concern, but you know what he's like. Well, that shows you the focus of Ronnie O'Sullivan. He was on the black, and in the end he thought it's the last frame of the session. Try and make sure of that. Michaela just using her ball marker just to see if there's enough room for the pink to go on its spot.
Thank you.
Michaela doing her second World Championship final. Been one of our top referees for quite some time now. And,
24.
we have the pleasure of her company on the Legends Tour, and I've got to play Steve Davis on the 16th of May at the Victoria Hall in Stoke, and John Virgo and Mikhail will be there, so we're looking forward to seeing everybody in the Stoke area.
31.
Not quite perfect on this red. As you can see, it will pass the pink. If he just screws it back in a direct line, he needs to leave this black at the black half ball.
32.
May not risk the cannon this time because it's not a great angle. Just slightly miss hit that. played a little bit more stunning, it would have been nearer the red rather than far as close to the cushion as he is, makes it slightly awkward. There you can see the pot success rate, and that's the difference in the match. It really is. Just Ali Carter's just missed a few more pots than Ronnie. His safety's been better, so he's competed.
Well, this is a completely different break to the one in the previous frame.
.46.
And this is the key shot coming up now. He's looked at the pink, but the black is the better angle. And that is beautifully played. I mean, the spin he's got on that to make sure it doesn't stick in the reds. There's nobody plays this shot better than Ronnie O'Sullivan.
He was so close to it going bad, though. Look, if he's at full ball, he just managed just to hit half ball, and like you said, then the spinners just took him through the reds. And the pace, then, how does he generate so much spin with such little pace?
Yeah, with an awful lot of talent, I think, is the answer.
54.
Well, having played what you'd suggest is a little bit in and out session, both these players have been playing very tactically. He's just up, well, he's gone from second gear to fifth gear in the last two frames. Very interesting session this has been. He's very close now to taking a two-frame lead into tonight's session.
Yeah, he's opened with a 56 break, then he had 117, 52, 92, which was one of the best breaks I've seen for a long, long time, if not the best, the way the balls were sitting. But Ali Carter, you know, he's only going to be 2 frames behind because this frame is virtually over.
68.
So he won't be too disappointed with this session. He's competed very well. And considering all those breaks I mentioned, he's only going to be 2 behind. So. Made absolutely sure of the red. He knew he was going to be a little close to the pink, but still fancy this to go in. Every chance now of a century, and this would be the 69th and Ronnie's 11th if he could make it. And as we say, our chosen charity, the
76.
Haven House Children's Hospice, get £200 from a sponsor, Betfred, every time a century goes in. And if we could get to 75, they make it up to £25,000. So
83.
It's not beyond the realms of possibility.
84.
There could be another 6 in this match, Dennis, so that's the target now, isn't it? 75 centuries to equal the second highest of all time.
yeah, 83 is the record. There's no way we can get there on this.
91.
Something very special happened.
92.
Well, this is break building at its very best. Every shot he's played in this break has got on. Every pattern he's played, he's played it perfectly. Every pot has got into the centre of the pocket.
And just over 7 minutes for that century break.
107.
Makes you realise, will you, that
108.
147 he made in 5 minutes and 20 seconds. You know, it'll stand for all time. You would take that record.
Well, the last 2 frames, I mean, it's just unbelievable. I mean, Ali Carter obviously hasn't scored in the last 2 frames, but he's had to sit out 2 of the best breaks he'd probably ever witnessed. The 92 from nowhere. And he potted this long red to get in here and got a good kiss. Played the kiss probably to get onto the black. And the rest is history.
119.
Yes, I can't wait for this evening session because both players are playing well. But Ronnie at the moment, well, he's flying.
123.
It'd be nice to have a complete clearance, wouldn't it? And there's every chance it will be a complete clearance. Absolutely magnificent. Ronnie O'Sullivan's last 2 frames were absolutely flawless. The 92 was brilliant. The 141 was even better. But Ali Carter must be pretty pleased with himself, having seen O'Sullivan make 2 centuries and a 90 to end the trail by 2 at 5-3.
Well, bewildering speed, 9 minutes for that century, second century of this session, and indeed the final, and Ronnie striding back in very purposeful mood. It would appear that the rocket is at cruising height already on this most recent Crucible mission, gentlemen. Can you just sum up what we've seen in the last couple of frames? It was absolutely staggering stuff.
Well, it's just Ronnie O'Sullivan at his very best. I mean, I'd like to sum it up, but I mean, I think probably only Ronnie O'Sullivan could himself really sort of discuss what was going on there. But if you start and finish the session like Ronnie O'Sullivan has, and if you did that all season, you wouldn't lose many matches at all. It's very strong stuff. Forget the bit in the middle. That can happen in any match. Start, brilliant. Finish, incredible.
In which case, how does Ali Carter now rationalise what has been happening? Because it was so hard fought in the middle of that session for him.
Yes, John.
Well, all he does is just keep playing and hope that he doesn't play like that. I mean, the difference between champions and great champions are they can do different things, and that's what O'Sullivan's done. Despite being bogged down in a session there at 3-3 and looking like they were awkward frames, he's just turned on 2 magnificent breaks and completely turned the scoreline around, and it looks like a really good session for him now.
Ali Carter can't be too disappointed, really. He's going to go back, and Peter Ebdon in his dressing room, they'll be talking about it, saying, well, you can't do much about the 4 frames you lost, the first 2 and the second 2. Obviously, in the middle, you drafted well. So, you know, just come out for the next session, see how it goes.
I think they'll have thought about this. They've spoken about it definitely in the dressing room. They said, look, at some point in this game, there's going to be a part of it where you ain't going to get a shot. Because you know that's who you're playing against. So you just have to accept it, sit there and just say, well, when you do, make the most of yours.
And we know that Ronnie's capable of going on great runs, and he has done in every match so far. And in many respects, the end of that session has been a good, timely point for Ali Carter at this point.
Yes, but I mean, there is the possibility that Ronnie O'Sullivan, without breaking into top gear, could win every session 5-3. So Ali could find himself slipping further and further out. But to turn around a session against Ronnie O'Sullivan looks tough at the moment. To beat him in a session, even 5-3, looks very difficult. OK, well, he's got a little bit of thinking time, both he and Peter Ebdon, to see how they'll come up with a plan to tackle the rocket, because he really is flying at the moment. I hope you've enjoyed this opening bout of this final here at the Crucible. Don't forget the Barry Hearn documentary follows very soon, 6:10, and then stand by for another 9 frames this evening. We'll kick things off